Welcome back to Cape Critiquers, everybody. Today we are talking about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Netflix's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Yippee! Do we all like it?
Yes.
I really liked it.
I really enjoyed it.
You did not like it?
You did not like it.
I love nothing about it.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So this is actually closer to the Mary Shelley story than the original 1931 Frankenstein.
Okay.
There are
The
some changes.
Universal monster.
The
It's still
Universal
very
monster.
different.
Yes.
It's more so in like conversation with that one
Mm-hmm.
than like full on like
Right.
correct adaptation. Like
Right.
there's
No,
a
it's
lot
not.
of
It's,
changes.
Yeah.
There's definitely changes. There's no
Like
doubt.
just moved it up like 60 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So one thing I found, they don't call him the monster. They call him the
The
creature.
creature, yeah.
You
He
know,
refers to himself as monster.
he does because he thinks he's an abomination because if he doesn't have a memory of how he's born, then he finds out what he is.
Mhm.
The one thing I found nice about this one is that they actually had the photo proof of him being made,
Yeah.
which is pretty wild. I've never seen that in any adaptation of this.
I
ever.
mean, photo proof.
They had a photographer photograph
Right.
Dr. Frankenstein putting them together. Though I don't think was he really a doctor?
He was a surgeon.
Surgeon.
Yeah.
That's right, he was, because his father was a surgeon too when he
Mhm.
was brought up as a surgeon.
I want to know just
Leopold.
right off the bat. What didn't you guys like about it?
It didn't add anything to my view of what Frankenstein should be. Even the way it was done, I just found it overly long and not really keeping my interest to say like, oh, where's this going, or what are they going to do next? It was just, I don't know, it's a very sublime experience
Mhm.
waiting for something to like perk me up, and it just really never got there.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way this Frankenstein actually looked. I think
Yeah,
he
me
looked
too.
more synthetic than it did biological.
I mean, he also just isn't like he's handsome. It's
Yeah.
not like he's
Well, something I actually saw that was interesting was Del Toro wanted to make him look kind of beautiful in this grotesque way,
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
how he described it,
Yep.
yeah,
Mhm.
as opposed to the more traditional, just more abomination-looking thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, like Jacob Elordi is a 6'5"
Oh, yeah,
Australian
yeah.
heartthrob.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's
Mhm.
hard to view him as not one of like the most conventionally attractive leading men in
Mhm.
Hollywood today.
And that's
you know?
my first reason. It's because he's a heartthrob. Everybody knows Jacob Elordi
Mhm.
for being a heartthrob.
I will say though, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked him as Frankenstein.
Yeah, I didn't
think the
mind
performance
him
was
as
great.
Frankenstein,
All of them
but-
were.
Yeah.
I like. Why did he say why he wanted him to be
Well, why he
beautiful?
wanted- Oh no,
In a
I'm
weird way.
not 100% sure why. I know that this movie is coming out from him after the passing of both of his parents,
Mhm.
which are it's both pretty recently. So I could definitely see like the whole. Like, I think his dad just passed away, so like, you can kind of see the through line there
Mm.
as far as.
I mean, I'd say like the whole Victor Frankenstein relationship is supposed to be like more motherly because it's like the whole thing is like
Well, yeah,
just like taking this thing from motherhood. We're like, oh yeah, we don't even need them anymore. I can just make a life myself.
like Baron's relationship with his mother was so
Mhm.
important to him, and he's like constantly drinking milk.
Mhm.
He was just like
I
such
didn't
like a
even notice
baby. And then his mother dies, and that's like when he like full on wants to be like, oh, I can conquer death. Even though it's never really mentioned again that that's why, I feel like that is his overwhelming
primary. Yeah,
Yeah, and it carries through the sins of the father or the sins of the son all the way through
reason. Mhm.
this whole thing. But
I mean, yeah, he is just like the father in a lot of ways.
he is, definitely is. And this is the first thing that we've done here in this podcast that I actually went back and I was interested to see what the actors did to become their parts, some of the main actors, and it was amazing how they approached it. Like Oscar Isaac on set, everybody said like he was like his own island. He hardly spoke with anybody unless there was very little interaction until they had to have interaction, you know. So he
I
sort
think
of
maybe
played
he should
that.
have spoken to more people because I found his level of emotion was just off in certain scenes, like some of the narration.
See, and I thought it was just to him being disconnected.
But he's telling the story as himself
Yeah.
telling the story.
Yeah.
You know, he's not looking from outside
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
This is him. And at times, like, his voice just didn't match the emotion of the scene for me, anyway. And I love him as an actor and everything. I just, like I said, the movie just never peaked for me. I kind of started watching it and it just stayed. There were some scenes with the monster fighting or whatever that I thought was very cool, but his business partner, who I love as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, the first time I saw him was in Django Unchained.
Yeah.
And I have his name here.
Christopher Waltz.
Yeah,
Christopher
he's-
Waltz.
I absolutely
Christoph
every
Waltz.
role I've ever seen
Yep.
him in.
No, he's always right on.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little flat for me here too.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought he was okay in this. I mean, he played his role, but
I really like the one scene where like he was shown to have syphilis because I mean
Yeah.
like it just like felt so awkward. It's like you were actually in that moment. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm fucking showing
Yeah.
myself.
one night with Venus and the rest of your life with Mercury.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think my favorite part of this movie, and this may lead into why you guys don't like it as much, is the writing. I feel like it's not really a traditional Universal monster movie. It's almost more like almost written as like a romance novel would be written, I think. I really enjoy just how almost like Shakespearean all of it is.
I get the Shakespearean. I didn't mind the part one, chapter one, chapter two. You got Victor's view,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
the monster's view of the
Yeah.
same events. But again, it didn't add anything to my view of Frankenstein or Mary Shelley's now. You know,
I'll
book.
agree there. Like I think it's also like in conversation with the novel a lot. Like I feel like most of what I like from this is just like I could get it out of the novel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there was the first thing I remember you telling you while we were watching the movie. The second it started, we heard Isaac talk. I hated his voice. I fucking hated it. The whole
Oh,
movie.
the accent
The
thing.
accent thing just pissed.
Maybe that was 90% of the reason why I was annoyed.
That was the reason why I just didn't like it. I hated it.
Yeah.
It bothered me so much.
It's like Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, where everyone's speaking Old English,
And he's like
Kevin
Brooklyn.
Costner's like the American.
I would have much preferred for him to just speak normal.
I mean, the boat, the captain and his
Yeah.
crew. He was
Yeah.
speaking Danish, I guess,
Yeah.
whatever.
And
And then
then
all of a
English.
sudden, he goes right into perfect English.
Yeah.
with no accent, and yet Victor's still got his little
Whatever the fuck
accent
that
going.
was.
I'll
on.
agree that like I think my biggest problems probably just are like how the movie's like produced, I guess, just like physically
Yeah.
made. Because I mean, like I didn't like how like the whole time it was just like this widescreen lens.
Yeah,
That
I
was
think
very weird to me.
that's the bit of the Netflix curse. You know,
I don't know because like they don't really do that much.
Like
See-
the Irishman kind of has the similar looking problems.
The things I didn't like was the regenerative nature of
Yeah,
Frankenstein,
that's weird.
because I don't remember that ever being used.
It's not in the book either.
Yeah, that giant strength. I mean, I knew that he was strong, but strong enough to right a ship that's sitting in ice. I don't know about having that kind of
It's-
strength
it's
either. Those are things
weird
that turn me
that it's
off.
like
to it.
closer to like the DC one. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So I didn't like that type of stuff in it, but other than that, I kind of like the story. But again, looking at it from the actor side of it, the guy who played Frank, the creature himself,
Jacob Elordi.
Elordi.
yeah. So I mean, he sort of looked at it like he tried to choreograph being reanimated, but not just reanimated with many different memories and many different. So here I could be. My mind could be a lefty, but I write now with my right hand, and or just imagine your foot is asleep. Just what you do is just a regular human trying to get it to move. That's your entire body now. Your mind is reconnected to all this stuff, and now you're trying to figure out how to move. So just looking at it through that, to me, just made it, wow, okay, I see that now. I enjoyed that stuff in the movie.
They were also,
You know?
I feel like, definitely trying to make a point. Like he remembered the whole war thing, and like
Yeah.
just the whole thing that like his body is made from fucking like soldiers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to grasp like what the point of that is specifically, but I do think they're making a point with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something interesting is he had only 4 weeks to prepare for this entire movie
Wow.
Wow.
because he signed on after Andrew Garfield dropped out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who's connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna play who?
Garfield was going to be Frankenstein.
was going to be the creature.
Interesting.
Yeah. You
He
can
does
call
have
him
like
Frankenstein.
that face for it, I guess.
He's the Frankenstein monster,
You-
so it's
well,
he's really not.
you don't have to
Correct.
call him the. I know,
Yeah.
but
A lot of people
call
miss
him
that.
Frankenstein,
Yeah.
the creature.
Yes.
I also just want to clarify. Hate is a bit of a strong word for me for this movie. It was just not my favorite interpretation.
I mean, that's totally fair. I do think it's very different than most
Yeah.
interpretations.
Yeah.
But that's Guillermo. I
That's
mean,
Guillermo.
Yeah.
One other thing is that Frankenstein actually is the monster, but the monster is Victor.
yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
The one thing did you guys notice throughout the movie he was always wearing red gloves?
It's because his mother wore the red gloves.
Yes.
For me, I had a whole different message that his
His hands are always covered in blood. I can see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie.
before I realized like what they were, I did think he had bloody hands because
Yeah.
I want to say even the first time that he meets Hans, I'm not sure if he's wearing the gloves or his hands are actually covered in blood.
No, he's actually wearing the gloves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like also just being a surgeon, I guess, primes you for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My other thing with Hans is, I don't know if you guys, I saw it from a mile away that there was he had a whole different agenda. That
Well,
Oh,
I knew,
yeah,
I
almost
knew he
certainly.
had
Yeah.
another agenda.
I didn't think it would be that.
Didn't pick up that it was
I-
going to be syphilis, though.
I
And
had
that
a
he
feeling
wanted
with,
to be-
he had something to do with immortality.
Yeah. Well, I was expecting him wanting immortality, but I didn't expect it to be like, oh, I want you to make me.
I
this
think
thing.
my guess is just
that
like,
that was a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's a fucking arms manufacturer, like
Yeah.
war profiteer. So I mean, like if he
Yeah.
can make this like soldier that's more powerful,
Which-
like it would be useful.
Which is pretty wild because when Mary Shelley wrote this book, she was like 17, 18, something like that.
Wrote it as a fucking challenge.
And it was a
Yeah.
challenge because she was a vile person in real life. No, people really did not like her.
Really?
Yeah, she shacked up with people that were like almost like a hippie commune back in the day. There was constant sex going on.
I wouldn't call
partying.
vile the best word to use.
Yeah,
here.
I back then it would have been considered vile. So
I'm in
but-
the 1800s.
yeah, exactly. But in Europe in the 1800s, and it was one of the coldest summers in a long time. It was almost winter weather and sometimes. So they were shacked up in this, I think in Switzerland, if I'm correct, and they had the challenge, and that's what it was. She couldn't think of it, and then she like went to sleep and had like this epiphany and came up with this story. But it was after war and an industrial revolution happening in Europe, and there was a lot of protests going on about industry happening and stuff like that. So this story has a lot of that
it's
in it.
definitely a very personal story. I mean,
Most
just
certainly.
like, like
So
it's like she was at a point in her life where like
Mhm.
she was not like very like she was like I feel like she kind of felt like Victor or
Mhm.
the monster
Yeah.
or fucking the creature because like she felt like she was just under this control and like she was this thing that was just like being made because I mean like her
Yeah.
parents were like both
well, her mother I know was a
philosophers and
feminist.
shit, yeah.
Well, she
her
was, she was
feminist.
actually young.
She was young. Yeah.
You know, she wasn't like in her 30s or 40s. I think she
And-
was in at 18.
yeah and
Yeah,
she was also
17,
just, like
18
married
years old.
up
That's what I'm saying.
to
Yeah.
like
Oh.
another like very successful guy
yeah.
so
a poet.
it's just like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's like all about how like I guess she has standards that she has to live by I guess
Mm-hmm.
and it's like should I live by that or should I just like I don't know she's
Yeah.
like
Most
I didn't
of the time
I-
she
like she
didn't,
didn't even
apparently.
want to like ask for it too is another thing
Mhm.
with the creature I guess
And I think they credit her with, depending on how you view the book, as writing the first horror novel
Mm-hmm.
or sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in
Yeah.
between.
And that's the 1931 movie went more horror, where the story really wasn't about that because he was more sophisticated, the creature in the book, than they made him in the
Than they made him.
1931 movie.
Yeah.
What would you classify this one as?
This it's more away from being a horror movie.
Yeah, correct.
To me,
I
it's
don't
it's
see
more
this as a horror
it's more
movie.
towards him being more philosophical.
yeah it's
than
definitely more
anything.
like about the themes from the
Yes.
I'd even
Yeah.
say
But
it's-
what it does miss is that whole struggle with industrial and after war and that country stuff is missing from it. And that's what I'll give you. That's where they sort of lost me in the story. And maybe that would have brought it back together more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like it is more so deeply rooted in just like the interpersonal relationships of
melodrama
generation and
Yeah, fathers and sons
Yeah.
and such like that.
and even motherhood.
Motherhood,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
melodrama
you know, you say that he had an affair with what was her name? Anna?
Oh, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Sorry, Elizabeth in the movie. Well, you never saw anything physical
Yeah.
happen between them. To me, it was almost like he was yearning for that love of his mother again.
yeah
So that's what I got out of it. Those
Well,
conversations him and his mother.
Who are
always
you
had.
talking about? You're talking about Victor.
Victor, I'm speaking about when he.
I'd say you can even make the argument
Yes.
of like creature.
Oh, the creature himself just wanted love. He could make me a companion. He came out and asked for it. He wanted somebody
I do
he
think
could have
that
on his level.
there's something interesting going on that Victor even calls out. He's like, do I almost like sense like this? You have like an attraction to this,
Mhm.
the creature,
Yeah.
or to it, and she
Mhm.
doesn't even refer to it
Yeah.
as it.
No.
But and then later on, she's shot, and he brings her to the cave or
Mhm.
whatever, and
Yeah.
even the conversation that they have, where it's like her perfect death would be like just fading away with the creature's eyes gazing upon her.
Which she eventually did. Then.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely interesting that like I don't know exactly what they're trying to say with that, but like, does she love Frankenstein monster? I don't know.
She was an interesting character with. She was big on purity.
Yeah.
She even mentions like she doesn't feel like she was from this world either, you know, in the same way that he was.
And she was interested in the insects, but her big thing was purity. These things only are acting out of what they have to act out of. There's no ultimate. There's no secondary reason to be acting like this. I find Victor. What do they call him? Malignant narcissist. Victor was all about Victor.
Yeah.
He was, like you said, I think this entire project started for the fact that because his mom died.
Yeah.
He was very into wanting to figure out how to keep people alive forever or whatever. But it was always about him.
Yeah.
And not until, I guess, later in the movie where he might have actually had real emotions about what he did was wrong and whatever. But up till then, I mean, he basically tortured
Oh, yeah.
the creature.
Well, most certainly. And then to the point
for
was-
no friggin' reason. And you started to see a lot of his father come back.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, even with the stick,
The
basically.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the creature wasn't posing a threat
No.
to anybody. In his head, that's what he was using as an excuse. Oh, I have to keep him chained, so it's just easier to clean him. And like he was treating him like a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's even like the burden of like success in a way where he even says like, you know, he's sitting on the steps and like he's done it, but now he feels like nothing about it or for
Right.
it, you
Correct.
know?
Yeah.
And it's just this like anchor to his life now that like he has to deal with all this. And I think there's a good moment on I guess it's the night of the wedding. The creature comes back and finds Victor, and he says to him like, all of this is then just again about your will, and if like you won't show me like any compassion basically by making me a companion, then I'll just enact my rage, which is infinite, you know.
I'll also say like to the Elizabeth's whole like pure thing, I would say that that's like wrong. I mean, just like thinking about like how he had like those thoughts of war, I guess like he isn't pure.
Right.
He's not. No.
The creature,
Yeah.
you want to expand on that a little bit?
Well, I just mean like I feel like they kind of put that in. I guess maybe now I'm coming to the realization that like maybe that whole thing is that like he came from this unpure thing, so I feel like maybe he just like it's still like seeping through that he isn't pure.
Well, pure doesn't necessarily mean good. Pure just means that you're serving the purpose that whatever you're born into or whatever.
Yeah.
His emotions were just as like I guess when he first woke up, kind of babyish. He only spoke the one word, and that was the one word that aggravated the shit out of Victor. Even though he obviously could have spoken a lot more.
Yes.
So yeah, there was that little twisted. I hate this guy. I'm gonna fucking
I
aggravate
think there's
him.
an interesting contradiction of like what he is or like what he's made from is this unholy concoction
Correct.
of just like pain and war and is it morally correct to even do this? But his life is this pure thing because everything he's experiencing is for the first time, and it's like there's no predetermined reaction to anything.
Yeah.
And even in his nature, he is seemingly very caring and kind. Like the old man does say he does seem kind, but he takes care of the animals and then he takes care of the old man. And it's only when, I guess, outside forces kind of mess with his peace that he's found is when he goes into these fits of rage.
Yeah. Well, to me, that's where the correlation with the insects. Insects aren't bad. It's like look at a bumblebee or a bee. It's fine if you leave it alone, but if I'm going to try to attack it, it's going to sting me.
I'd say that this is probably the closest thing
know?
that I can find in this to your comments about like war, I guess, or like the relationships with war. Is like human nature can be peaceful and fine unless like you find reason for it not to be and act upon them.
Yeah. So I mean, it nailed that perfectly, but I think that does get a little bit away from the truism of what this story was in a lot of ways. Though they did it okay in this, but
that definitely is more of a supporting theme, I think.
Yeah.
Because I do think that like the fatherhood and nurture versus nature type of stuff is more prominent.
What did you guys think of the use of the old man in this as compared to other versions of this story?
I liked it.
Yeah, I kind of liked it, but the old man in the other stories he was more of like really alone forever.
Yeah, he
didn't
was
have,
out in the middle of the
Yeah,
woods.
and he was like a hermit.
Right, correct.
And had no real connection to any humanity in a long time. This guy was like a grandfather.
Well, it's interesting, like they
You know?
combined like the hunters with the family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like annoyed with that shit too. I mean, I liked the fact that he came across this solo guy out in the woods, blind man that couldn't see him for, as opposed to going into this village. How many fucking times do you have to shoot this guy? I mean, everything about them was, no matter what he did, right? I'm sure they all assumed that he brought the food, the grain, whatever it was. No matter what he did, it's like, just take your gun and shoot. Take your gun and shoot.
But that's
even
the
when
thing.
he's walking away from them, they were fucking
But assess the situation first. You walk in and there's all these dead wolves.
Yeah.
And this creature that, this is the one we shot in the woods, is over the old man and holding him and like coddling him. At that point. Read the room.
I mean, I agree, but I do
know?
think it goes back to kind of what I was talking about, where it's like there can be peace in the world unless like you just decide that you don't want to take that route and you just want to be confrontational.
Kind of similar thing
Shoot
to,
first, ask questions later.
Captain Stacy thinking Spider-Gwen like killed Spider-Man, or Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting connection.
Yeah, I mean,
trope, I guess.
I think in trope, it's just like it is a funny like two things. But I do see exactly what you're saying.
I was a lot more excited about the movie before I actually saw it. At the end of the movie, I was kind of like, really didn't.
I mean, I'd say that too, just because like I just going off of like Pinocchio, like that was so much better.
Yes, thank you. Pinocchio kind of gave me a different view on that whole story.
Yeah.
Although I think the original Pinocchio story wasn't the Disney version.
No, it's supposed to be a more
It was supposed
darker
to be a
version.
little
I don't know
darker.
if like the
Right.
whole fucking like he comes back to life is the thing that I don't like. It would be weird if that isn't the case in that Pinocchio story,
Right.
and like I guess Del Toro just like adds this like weird thing.
He
in all
does
his
have an
movies.
obsession with like the ideas of life and death.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no
It
doubt.
runs through like everything he does.
So I just found out, like, since he's a kid, he spoke about going to see Frankenstein after Mass when he was a kid with his family, and he was so excited. He's been obsessed with this story since he's a kid. He was, like, in his early teens, and he has drawings that are actually pretty close to this Frankenstein, what he looks like. And his grandmother kept over the years, but his grandmother used to tell him, you have an obsession with this grotesque thing, basically. Like, so he's had this in him a long time. And he has a very good way of taking maybe a lighthearted story like Pinocchio and adding those dark elements, the realities of life and darkness to these stories. And I think he did a lot of that in this Frankenstein, though.
I mean, even
there's
with like
a lot to
Pan's
work with.
Labyrinth, like there's even some similarities from that movie to this. Like her mother dies. And,
Yeah, he adds those, he highlights those darknesses
yeah.
in movies like this. And that's what he does well.
I thought the whole motherhood angle was the best way they handled the creation theme. It felt like Victor wanted the feminine power of creation without any of the messy parts or the responsibility that comes with it. He even says he didn't think of what he'd do after he brought the creature to life.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. Elizabeth says to him, like, when she pegs that it's him in the confession and she's still fucking with him, saying, like, oh, he's like this just horrible guy that just wants to manipulate everything and everybody around him. And that's what he wants to do. He's just so obsessed with control and creating this thing, and he doesn't give a fuck about what happens after. And honestly doesn't even want to be a part of that.
I guess my next one actually leads into that. Victor's emotional stunting from his youth totally worked for me. He was basically this pathetic man-child running the Victor show, where he thought he was just the middle of everything.
Basically, yeah.
A lot of that had to do with the way his mother brought him up also.
That's interesting. Actually, I didn't think like, oh, the mother is probably responsible for this connection, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's a big part of it, but he definitely took a lot of the things that his father did to him, and he used them on
I mean,
people
just
as
even
well as
the idea of the abandonment, really.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean like the mother's responsible in like a bad way.
Oh no, yeah, exactly.
Not
I
like,
have to.
it's bad. Like it's not bad that she loved him, I guess, but like it's kind of just a fucked situation because like I mean the father, like she had to fill in for that a lot. So
Yeah, and they had a lot of close times together. Now, with that said, and this is totally disconnected from anything else, That was one of the most beautiful coffins I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just have to say that. It
For
was
both of them.
Also-
for both of
Oh,
them,
man.
yes.
Any
Absolutely beautiful.
thoughts on the fact that Mia Goth played both characters?
Yes, that was just bizarre to me as well.
yeah,
and
she
I thought,
played
yeah,
the mother.
she
I
played
didn't
the mother.
fucking know. It was like
Yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
I had no
penguin-esque
Mhm.
like transformation
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Really?
Mia Goth plays both the mother and Elizabeth.
And Elizabeth, yes.
I do like. It's not disconnected because I mean, like the coffin, like he's fucking more interested in just like shipping her off, I guess, to death.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
like he doesn't treat her well when she's alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the disconnect. Why he hated Victor and his mother, and yet William looked like he had a great life
Yeah.
with the father.
I think what it was like William was more like the father, and both Victor or Baron, whatever the fuck you want to call him, and the mother both had these like anxious and almost just like dark tendencies about them that he really didn't like. I think they kind of mentioned.
I mean, it's also like kind of implied that like just the whole like nurture thing. I mean, like he got more love, so
Yeah.
it's brought up happier, I guess.
But I guess his question is like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
that brother?
I don't know. I'm
you
trying to.
Well,
think of
maybe
that.
because the father also had more hands-on with him. The mother was gone at this point. So
why?
the mother's dead.
But he got didn't he get a new mother for that one?
Yeah,
Right?
but
No,
initially
she birthed.
the father
Oh.
just wasn't around.
I think
He
she
was-
dies.
He was doing his surgical tours.
Yeah,
dies
well, he was
now.
doing that with
Victor.
Victor.
Right.
But after
the mother
the,
passed.
the mother
She
passed,
d-
he became
Can
the
we
father.
just establish that? Because Jack, I think, is a bit lost on it. She
So-
dies during childbirth.
Yeah,
of the
That's right.
second
Yeah.
That's
child.
right.
Yeah.
Birth goes through.
Yes.
Yes, and
They
that's
saved
that's
the kid.
William.
I don't know why. I
yeah, he
So
saved
you thought
the
he was a
child,
different
and-
mother?
I thought it was like
She
yeah,
was
I guess it's-
hemorrhaging, so
Yeah.
I guess up in the air, but you could easily say and agree with that he saves the child and then doesn't do everything in his power to
I
save
think
it.
I
Though
was
he
also
says-
thinking
yeah.
of it because like they made the whole point of like the hair colors and like he had different color hair, so I was just
Mhm.
like, oh, it's a different parent, I guess,
no.
mother.
Well, that's why I'm saying William's more like the father, even in
Well, yeah.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I was just like, oh, it's literally like a different mother is the reason why. I don't know.
Yeah, but he brought Victor up differently and everything. Like Victor never got the gift of a buggy. He was told to study to be a surgeon since he was a kid.
He did make him the world's best surgeon.
He did.
Could just be like, I guess like the like back then, like when you had fucking lords and ladies and shit like that,
Mhm.
kind of just like burden of like the firstborn. Like he is training him to be a doctor.
Mhm.
He didn't really do that for
No.
William.
And
Yeah,
William becomes a
kind of just like a
just
social
some kind of
life.
financier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sort of
I thought he was in
financier.
finance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I found it a little weird that Victor was able to make these battery packs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me,
Yeah.
that seems way ahead of what they were capable of
Mhm.
producing.
It kind of was like just like I think batteries like were the first thing.
It also was very like steampunky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like too futuristic for me. You know, he's carrying it
Yeah.
around, he just pops it in and
Yeah.
it juices up
Mhm.
whatever's going
Though
on.
they did have batteries going back to like
yeah, Mesopotamia.
in Mesopotamia
That's
and
more
stuff
like-
like that. You
Just
know.
fucking this fucking accidental thing.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
even the chest contraption where he
Mhm.
puts the battery in and the thing that comes down and
Yeah.
opens up like the prongs
Mhm.
was very steampunkish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they call it like fucking like dime batteries or something where
Mhm.
it's like not because they also have dime batteries nowadays, but it's more so just like because like it was really like a dime and then a penny and then like a dime, like you could make a battery with that. Just
Right,
Mhm.
correct.
Well,
No,
also
I
zinc and
understand
fucking
that.
copper.
Everything that he's using is silver conduction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It just seemed way ahead. And I really did love all the cadavers that they used.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked that one that was on the table,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then he pumped them up. And
Oh yeah, fucking
Yeah.
the one where he screamed.
the
Yeah.
one- yeah. And then even the one in the medical.
Where
Yeah. Well, that was my
Catches the-
favorite scene in the whole
the
movie is when
apple.
he's trying to sell his idea
Right.
to all these industrialists and doctors and
Mhm.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I thought was creative.
That's why I
very
do
creative.
disagree a little bit with you guys that this isn't at least a little bit horror coded. There's definitely elements of horror.
Well, when you're dealing with reanimation of life from human life,
I feel like
there's
it's
definitely a
impossible
horror thing.
to have a Del Toro project.
feel like
that
it's just
doesn't
more
have
so,
that
like-
horrific kind of.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
more so like visceral than horror.
I don't think it was meant to shock.
No.
Like,
No,
like a
I think it's
horror
just
movie
of
would
his
like, oh.
his style.
it's a
you
bit
know?
macabre, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
anything.
that's a good.
Yeah, that's a good
macabre.
word.
I thought the casting of Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi were both great.
Mhm.
I also thought making Victor older was a good call, and it just like goes more into like he seems more pathetic as like he's a grown man, but like
Yeah.
he should fucking know this
Mhm.
to be
Something
better.
funny that at least I'm thinking is like I kind of can see like a Lordy becoming almost like if Timothy Chalamet is the next DiCaprio, a Lordy is going to be like the next Bale.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it. And it's funny to me because like
Maybe they're their own people.
I feel like this is like his first like big real role that's like not Euphoria, like a teeny show. And I think he does great in it, and he wasn't even originally supposed to be in it. And it's funny because Bale's first big role is American Psycho, and he wasn't even supposed to be in it. DiCaprio dropped out of it, and then Bale does it and delivers this great performance.
It's interesting, like how much it's like worked into the script. I mean, like he's just like talking about like, oh, I want to get the biggest scale as possible.
Yeah.
It's just easier to work on, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how easy it's going to be to write in a 6'7" main actor.
Yeah.
into I kind of
Look at Superman.
Yeah, he's limited to the roles he can do just by size. Yeah.
My thing is, though, why did the creature have to be made out of so many different parts?
I think it's just like fresh.
Finding the best parts from everybody.
Yeah.
Because like he was even like,
I mean, I know they were war-torn people, but they were also looking at people who were being put to death and everything else.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
don't know. I hated that design.
There's definitely a lot, like all the different skin patches. Why couldn't you just find a great body, and if you needed a new head, you got a new head?
Like he definitely had more resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is.
I think for the amount of surgery that was needed, he didn't look like he had a tenth of the scarring.
Well,
Yeah.
they also said because he was such a good surgeon, I think he was maybe like one of one in the world that knew this stitching
And
that
then
was almost left you scarless.
and then this creature was regenerative, so in time
guess
it's
he's
sort of
healing.
Still
yeah,
yeah.
healed.
Yeah.
But the weird with the bluish skin patch.
yeah, the
and, you know,
regeneration stuff was interesting. I know we touched on it a bit, but it's almost like adding this like superhero element to Frankenstein, which
Yeah.
I don't hate, but it is interesting and like oddly out of place in this story
Yeah.
a little bit.
And then they had these things. I was watching Del Toro on, I guess he did the whole talk show host, thing. And they had these like vinyl creature dolls of the creature that he said he had made in Japan or China or something. And he says, very, very collectible. These are very, and it was all the patchwork, one with the hair, one without the hair. They were actually incredible and looked just like the creature. But
They also made
you know.
like all those like ivory, like even like the life-size ivory stuff.
Yeah.
Like they made all that and then just like blew it up because like that's what happens in the building. This fucking
That was another thing.
Yeah.
Where did he get all those cans?
Yeah, the cans of gas, of
Oh my
gasoline.
God.
And how
Or kerosene, I guess it
And
was, because
how
you didn't
would
really
he
have
place
gasoline
them?
back then.
how would he place that many of
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
And that
that I think that also is chopped up to like the character of Hans, Walt's character, is like very silly because it's like, oh, this works, I guess, just because like he has fucking unlimited financial resources.
Right.
Yeah, Hans Lanza or something.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel the difference between how Elizabeth dies in the book and how she dies in this movie? Because in the book, Frankenstein strangles her to death. In this, she jumps in front of a bullet that Victor sends towards the creature.
Yeah. I think for the purpose of this story, what happens works better because it serves the whole like motherhood thing and just like her relationship even with the monster and like her own existence.
It also serves like Victor, just like, oh, it's his fault.
It's he is the monster. Yeah. I guess for this story it does make more sense, but I think it is trying to tell a different story than the book.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth is nothing like this in the book. She's a different type of person in the book. She's definitely not as intelligent as she seems in this story than she was in the book. I guess she was more of an aristocratic style in the book than she is here.
So in the book, though, was the strangulation accidental?
In the novel, yes, the creature fully intended to kill Elizabeth, but not because he specifically targeted her as a person. She was a means to hurt Victor in the most devastating way.
Oh, so she's gonna try
she was
to
gonna
kill
hurt Victor,
Victor.
and the monster was
And the monster
protecting
saved Victor. See that? And that's
So it's like an inverse, honestly,
Right.
in this story.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this story is definitely trying to, and they even outright say it, like, Victor, you're the monster. Like,
Wait,
they're trying to pin him as the
Yeah.
bad guy.
She was a means to hurt Victor, so he targeted her to make sure that Victor,
Was safe.
unless it hurt him,
Well, she was trying to hurt.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
like if he killed Elizabeth, that would be the eternal pain that he'll feel
yeah,
forever.
Oh.
that's a good point.
That's a good
yeah.
point too. Yeah.
In the novel, yes, the creature fully intended to kill Elizabeth. She was a means to hurt
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was a
She
means
was a
to
means
so
to
she
hurt
was
victims.
literally-
Yeah, you're right.
So,
She,
Okay.
yeah, so he's to hurt Victor.
To hurt Victor.
The creature told Victor earlier that he would be with him on his wedding night. Victor misunderstood, thinking that the creature planned to kill him.
But he
Okay.
targeted. Yeah.
wow. Okay.
So there's a lot of
Yeah.
evil going on there.
And a
Frankenstein.
17
So
or
then-
18-year-old girl came up with that
Thinking
little.
that.
So
That's
then that
insane.
even changes my perception of it in the sense of like he's purer in this movie than he even is in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So he did kill a lot of people.
He's seeking revenge against
Well, he killed a lot of people
that attacked him.
that
That attacked him. Yeah.
I mean, it also
Ab-
didn't think like he'd be in the worst danger.
I mean, I honestly, for sure, if nobody did anything, he'd have walked on the boat, grabbed Victor, and
Yeah.
dragged his ass off.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and even Victor says if he comes for him, he just let him have me.
Right,
Basically,
right.
after
Even-
being chased around the world,
Yeah.
chasing each other around the world.
Same
Yeah.
thing with like the
You know?
hunters. Like
Yeah.
if that one guy didn't shoot and try to stab him, he
Yeah.
never would have
No,
just
killed him.
easily moved his jaw off
Yeah.
of his body.
Oh my God, he tore that son of a bitch apart.
At the same time, Jacob Elordi is like performed it like so heartbreaking. You know.
The wolves in this were the most rabid
Yeah.
wolves
Oh my
I've ever
God.
seen. I mean, it was just insane. They were just in every
That stuff
scene.
is like Del Toro just fucking loves just like fairyland
Yeah.
bullshit,
Yeah.
kind of.
I mean, they were tearing through
yeah.
doors and ripping shit
Yeah.
apart. The way that they jumped over the fence and took
Yeah.
those sheep, oh my God, or lambs, whatever they were, they tore them apart.
I do want to get back to talking about Elordi though. If you have anything more on that, oh, nice.
I mean, on their character dynamic, but that's not Elordi specifically.
One of my favorite parts of him was with the old man and up on the rafter reading the book, just getting so into books. But I wish they had gotten more into how he learned to read. I mean, I know a lot of it was watching through where nobody went to go look except the rats.
Yeah.
Apparently, him and
That
the
was a
rats
little
lived.
But also
in
the
that
old
little
man
mill.
seemingly knew that he was
But
in
the old
there.
man knew he was there. He knew something was there, and then put it together.
They never
afterwards.
spotted his eyes either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Exact-
more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Like,
know.
I don't expect much like in that
But
specific.
I wish that they had worked on how he actually learned how to read. Because
Well, I mean, I disagree. I think it's pretty clear. Like
Yeah.
the kids are being taught to read, and he's right there doing it as well. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, he also gets direct lessons.
and
at
then
one
he
point.
got direct lessons, but that was more sugar coated. That went by faster
I mean,
than him looking.
I'm
through
gonna
the
be honest.
walls.
Like, I don't really care about how he fucking learned to read.
I mean, I do think it is shown.
What I
pretty
do
well.
think should have been shown more is that like he thinks these fucking like tales are like real. Like he
Mhm.
thinks
Yeah,
they
that-
actually
I-
happened.
I
or, like
agree.
history of
Yeah.
Earth.
yeah, yep.
and that even designs like the framework of his psyche in
Yeah.
a way. You know, like the way that he thinks is so
Yeah.
formed by all of these great novels that he's read,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes out with these almost like long monologue like expressions to every thought, basically.
Yeah. No, I that was one of my favorite scenes, though. Him just ingesting all the books and knowledge.
I mean, even just like him like fucking swinging down onto
Mhm.
the rafters,
Yeah.
just like just interesting.
It very much actually, that scene, especially when he's sitting on the rafter, it reminded me of Brandon Lee's The Crow again.
Mhm.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Victor and creature dynamic was the whole movie to me. The stuff with Elizabeth was mostly just there to show us like how messed up Victor was, since she was the only one who really saw him for what he was. And the whole arc of their dynamic, from rejection to Victor finally acting like a mother at the end, was the real core of the movie. It's tragic that he figures it out way too late.
Well, they forgave each other.
Yeah.
And
What
that
did you
was-
think of like that whole
What, the forgiving scene,
Yeah.
or
the whole
Victor?
forgiving scene?
It could have happened a lot earlier. To me, again, it's like the hunters walking into that room and seeing all these dead wolves, and the old man attacked. Do you think he actually killed all these wolves and the old man?
yeah, like
Read
the
the
wolves
room.
were protecting
honestly,
them.
yeah.
This could have been taken care of earlier. He didn't have to go burn this guy.
Like, I guess the actual physical reasons that, like, I guess Victor just didn't have a choice to, like, fucking push him away anymore.
I guess.
But
you
it's
know,
also, like, I
it
feel like
started off with
it
Victor-
could have happened at any time in the story.
Victor
you know?
tried to burn him to death.
Yeah.
You know.
He should have had.
I
a lot
also-
of anger.
I think one of my least favorite tropes in the movie is just, like, him fucking, like, it's the thing from Big Hero 6 where, like, he tries to enter and then he fucking gets hit
And
back
it gets,
and then
yeah,
passes
exactly.
out.
You see, he had that. So he already had that he was going to save
Yeah.
the creature. Why not then, when the creature's coming after you? Why not say, "I did try to come
Well,
in"?
I mean, he was just, like, so,
know?
like, fucking, he could not blame himself for, especially for Elizabeth's death. And,
She even
Yeah.
says like the great Baron Frankenstein was wrong or something, and it's even a direct callback to when he says that to his father.
yeah.
And it's the same. The father couldn't accept that, neither can he.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping while he was laying there and they were having their little forgiveness discussion,
Mm-hmm.
that the monster was like slowly pressing on his chest and like
And just take the life out of him.
and yeah, like stopping him from breathing. It was like, okay, yeah, we're all good with this, and but your time has come. I can't live on the same planet with the both of us.
I mean, this guy had him chained, hit him with fucking sticks, basically berated him, tried to burn him alive, then tried to hunt them down.
He was horrible.
He was a fucking piece of
He
shit.
wasn't much of a dad.
No.
Yeah, and then that I'm sorry because we started watching this at like 10:30.
Yeah.
I fell asleep, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. 3:00 in the morning, I wake up. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the movie now. At like 5:00 in the morning, once I seen him say, "I forgive you," I swear to God, I almost screamed. Oh my God!
I thought it was a bizarre thing after that whole chase that apparently went on and on.
Fucking throughout all of Canada.
Exactly.
I
to
do
the
love the
northernmost
scene,
part.
not Canada, but after he drags him out of the tent with the dynamite, he says to him like, "You like
yeah.
basically
Yeah.
you better hope that this kills me."
That's right.
Or like, you
Yeah.
Because
know,
if it doesn't, I
Well,
will hunt you down
yeah.
forever.
It did go to Canada. 'Cause there's the Northwest Passage.
Yeah, exactly.
fucking-
They went to the
they
northernmost
fucking
part.
walked across
Yeah.
the North Pole, I guess.
Yeah.
The Arctic.
I totally butchered whatever that line is, but the actual line is even so much more like romanticized in
Yeah.
how
Which line?
when he's holding the
Holding the
dynamite,
dynamite.
he basically
Yeah.
says to him like, "You better hope that this kills me, or I'm gonna hunt you."
Yeah.
Just the way that he says it, something about it.
But the
is
fact that
great.
it didn't even blow him apart.
No, it only singed his skin and
Yeah.
But wouldn't like
scarred.
I
him.
feel like the whole like if he wants to die, couldn't you just like take the batteries off, right? Like isn't the batteries what's powering him?
No, he doesn't have that anymore.
No.
They
Was it
spoke
just like he
about
needed
it.
that to
They
jumpstart
spoke
it?
about it in the movie. That
It's the lymph nodes.
Yeah,
But
inside-
I thought it was like they were getting powered from the batteries.
then
But no,
they
it's
start. That's how it got started. Was
Okay, I
the
get
joke,
it.
but then they power
stores
themselves.
it.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
mention
But
that.
apparently his are the most powerful in the world, and they help regenerating and everything else.
just-
You
I
know?
guess
Hell, he
speaking about
was-
that whole
how
scene-
far underwater was he?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Why
Yeah,
wasn't he frozen?
yeah.
Well, if there's water, it's not frozen.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Also,
but
just
it's-
like if I guess it's like energy, so he's able to heat himself.
Mhm.
I guess
He obviously doesn't breathe.
Yeah.
Unless he does, and he just
Doesn't-
drowns
it's
and
more efficient.
regenerates.
Yeah.
Drowns and regenerates.
That's
Terrifying.
kind of the way I took it, because like he dies after he gets shot,
right.
and he said,
Yeah, coming
"How
back
long
to
was
life.
Also,
I dead
like,
for? I
yeah.
don't know."
I don't think he just like washed up like immediately. Like
No.
once he went down that fucking slide.
Mhm.
Like I don't think he just washed up immediately. I think like he probably fucking drowned.
And
'cause,
that's
like,
the
he was
sec-
falling
yeah.
into the water.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
That's
and then
the-
he
that's the
doesn't
first time
remember,
he
Yeah.
drowns.
He
That's
doesn't
what I mean.
remember his memories
That's-
after that.
That's the first time he drowns.
Yeah, when he came out of the
The
castle.
tower.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
The
did you
second
notice
time,
that
though.
in the woods there is all just decayed bodies?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, those
he
are the
fucking
ones
picked one
that
up,
he washed
so.
down when he was going
Yeah,
through the
finished
cadavers
with the
down in that
parts.
same room.
Yeah,
he would
finished
just
with
put
the
them
parts.
down that chute, which is just another thing. He just didn't care about any of them. You know, it just showed the doctor's carelessness of. You know,
Well, I mean,
just
he even
life in
says to
itself.
that the one living guy that's about to be hung,
Mhm.
like he
Yeah.
inspects his mouth and you could smell on him that he has some kind of degenerative
Yeah.
disease. He's like,
Mhm.
"You're lucky you're being hung.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
could have died in 3
Dead
months."
man,
Yeah, horribly.
I like that they continued the trend, making the reanimation scene so huge and industrial. It wasn't about the creepy vibe from the apartment in the book. It
Mhm.
was all about showing Victor's massive ego. He built this insane, wasteful machine just to do something a woman's body does naturally.
Wow,
I guess.
a woman's body is naturally.
Say your prompts are kind of just answering themselves, really.
I guess. I mean, I'm just like
Yeah.
trying to see your thoughts on that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, just kind of nailed it,
Mhm.
really.
But see, and you know, that was the throwback to like the 1931 Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Was that big machine with all kinds of sparks and everything else happening? It brings me back to Van Helsing movie. With that, to me, that was like, wow, this is fantastic. The way they're trying to reanimate this, and now he's the key. But that's the Hollywood version of Frankenstein, because, like you said, in the book, it takes place like in a French apartment or something, which is just weird to think that he reanimates a body like that in an apartment. But it worked. It was okay.
But what did physically his partner there want him to do with his body? Add him as one part?
I think
as-
just his brain.
Put his
Yeah, he
brain
wanted his
into it.
brain into it.
He just
That's what he
wanted his brain
Yeah.
put into this.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you've ever seen a Get Out, I just imagine something like that.
That's a shame he fell on his head then.
Yeah,
that-
that
oh,
is a
yeah.
good point. And he even says to him, like, your whole body's just riddled with disease.
Yeah, it's too
Mhm.
late now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe that's just why he wanted so many fucking different parts. He was just like so anal about it.
Yes.
But yeah, he wanted whatever the perfect part was from everybody.
But I feel like that was just like, how do you even fucking make sure that they fit? Correctly,
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But the perfect part. But then you have to get the correct bones to
Yeah.
go for
Yeah.
each leg and toe and everything. It's bizarre.
Well, I think it is like a little detail, but he does mention at one point like they stop looking for certain types of people, and he only wants like bigger people
Yeah.
because it's easier.
But I mean, still, it's just like fucking an inch off, and he's like limp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, he didn't walk gracefully.
No, he didn't.
But I mean, I
So-
think that's more so like a baby doesn't fucking walk.
No, but
The-
I'd
you
say
know.
he had plenty
it
of
was
practice.
beyond that because like he
Yeah.
even like his whole
Yeah,
body
sometimes
was
his
almost like
hands
just
and-
like contorting around. You know?
I think it's more so like if you put a baby into like a 6'5" body, it's like not gonna walk naturally.
Yeah, I
probably
think
not
that
at all.
goes to what
Yeah.
Dad was saying about the whole like picture
Yeah.
your foot being asleep thing. But that's everything.
I mean, what was the time frame from Reanimation
I was wondering that too.
to the end of the movie? It seems like it's months.
15 minutes.
I think it's years.
Is it years?
I
See,
could
that's what I'm
see
trying
it like
to
being
figure
like
it out.
under 5 years.
I think it has
more
to
than a
be
year.
a few years.
A few years, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because animated, they were already engaged.
But then like no,
those
because
two, and then it was their wedding day.
the whole like him learning thing was only on summer. So yeah, it's weird. Like that was probably
They
the
didn't take
slowest
care of
part
the wolves.
of that
Those wolves
timeline,
went
I
back
guess.
and killed that old man.
I guess, yeah.
No, I just figured when he got reanimated, Victor lost his leg.
Yeah.
When they found him in the Arctic there, whatever, he had a prosthetic.
Yeah, well, we saw him get the prosthetic because he woke up in his brother's
Yeah.
home, I guess it was, and he had to put his leg on before he got out of bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling there has to be a healing
Yeah.
Yeah.
between
It
the
is
leg
like
not
it.
being
it
there.
I
and-
think
Yeah.
it's kind of fucking just impossible. To
yeah, I
get
know,
to,
but
you
I'm
know,
still.
so-
I'd give him 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
from-
something. It had to be years, I guess, not just
yeah,
months.
he really let that stub grow for a bit.
I think probably the longest, like the years comes
Well,
in.
then also his hair. You know?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the
Oh,
I think
true.
the years
Yeah.
come
Full
in
of
once
hair.
it's like
Mhm.
he probably grew like a lot of the hair when he was in the summer, and then the years really like a lot of years part is probably just the chase
Yeah.
Yeah.
through the
Yeah.
fucking Arctic.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's such like just an insane concept to fucking do that. I mean, like gotta hunt. I don't know.
It's like they're actively hunting and running from each other.
Yeah.
And also just like like nobody fucking did that before like 1300s. Like
Yeah.
he made his way to America. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
I thought something interesting, and I don't know if this is from the book or just something that Hollywood maybe kind of made a bigger thing, was really no mention of like a fear of fire. I mean,
Right.
they did-
They,
Yeah,
he
that is-
showed him the fire early on. Careful, that's hot.
yeah, and then I mean he
And-
basically tries to engulf him in it as
Yeah.
well.
The Universal monster was fearful of
Oh, yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
That was an actual fear.
I feel like they just played it a lot more subtle. 'Cause I mean, like even like
When he gets up
Elizabeth
on,
brings down like the candle and like
oh yeah, I was gonna say when he gets onto the boat towards the beginning, there's guys holding torches around him, and he kind of doesn't really invoke himself into like, physically around them, and he kind of is just standing there, kind of waiting for them to move. I don't know. They didn't really show it.
I
too
mean, like
much.
he wasn't a fiery blast too.
Yeah.
So
But I'm saying, like, you know, even with that, like, he didn't like being, you know, he
forgot.
knew he could die.
He
But
held a damn stick of dynamite.
yeah, that's another thing.
I want to know how he learned what dynamite does.
books.
I guess.
Well, no, he didn't. No, it was just like, oh, if you think this can kill me, I'll fucking try it. I guess.
Yeah.
You better hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he knew.
Well, what do you guys think about then? I know that weren't all too pleased with the forgiveness scene, but then like, what do you make of the idea that despite everything, like the creature should live and live to a full purpose?
I mean, like for what
No.
this movie is, it definitely set it up well.
Mm-hmm.
It is an interest. It's I don't know. It's kind of just tropey-ish. I
Yeah.
guess.
But does that mean he's in search of companionship and something that can stimulate him?
I think
As a
it's more
human?
so like he can kind of do what like Victor like wanted to do to prove his father wrong, but like correctly, or prove that he's better than his father.
I even took it as like more of acceptance of like, because Victor often like after he's like, if something went wrong, like I fucked it up basically.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's almost like a acceptance of like, no, like I didn't fuck it up. Like this, he can be human despite all of. Originally, he thinks that he's like inept and stupid and whatever. But I don't know. He tells him to go like live a life and just experience everything.
Yeah.
That's another thing where like he didn't even know what to do after. It's just like he wanted the power of motherhood without realizing that like, oh, it's a fucking baby.
And he wasn't very good at it.
One of the biggest things that I had a challenge with this idea with Victor and Frankenstein is in the book. I think one of the biggest things is Frankenstein's trying to find out is why did you create me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With this movie, I didn't really get the sense of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like, what am I, more than why am I here?
Why am I?
Where did I
It's
come
what
from?
am I
Yeah.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
what's
I mean, like the whole like why I didn't ask to be born is like such a fucking theme in the novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of mentions it at one point. He's like, you gave me unwanting life, and now like
Mhm.
I desire companionship or death, basically.
Yeah.
and you won't give me either.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, he can't give
point.
him one.
You can't
Yeah,
give
that
him
was a
one.
good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Great third option, live.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Mia Goth as both the mother and Elizabeth just really puts the Freudian thing right in your face.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And also just like shows how the past ruins the future. I don't know.
Or I'd say, I guess in the sense of this movie, yeah, but it does show like the past has an effect on the future.
Yeah.
More than, just ruins it. That's a bit pessimistic.
Well, I mean, just like dwelling on the past.
There's also one thing I noticed, which I mentioned earlier. Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
How you guys mentioned that this movie is a little bit romanticized
Mhm.
a version of Frankenstein. There's a Dracula movie that's going to be coming out. That's I think already came out in France called Dracula: A Love Story,
Mm-hmm.
where Christoph Waltz is also in that, where he
Mhm.
plays I think either a priest or Van Helsing.
Mm.
Same thing. It's a romantic take on Dracula, but from what I've seen with the clips and the trailer, it looks really fucking good. So just an option. We should take it.
Okay.
out.
Did you guys
Yeah.
ever watch Nosferatu? The new
Yes, I watched it.
The new one? No.
Yeah.
one? Mhm. I'd say that like elementally, like this movie's kind of ish in the same vein as that.
I would agree.
Mm.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Also, I meant to ask you, did you catch the Barry Lyndon reference?
When?
It's when Victor's in front of that giant painting. It's literally the scene from Barry Lyndon.
I will say one thing. The Nosferatu movie is more psychological / thriller horror
Mhm.
than this movie.
Yeah, I do think there is like really strong themes of relationship
No, more
Yes.
so.
in
Yeah.
that movie as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like not too close, but like through a similar lens.
Yeah. Count Orlok.
I guess one last thing
Fucking
on
insane Bill Skarsgård performance.
Oh,
Yeah.
That voice.
one last thing on the like Victor's change of heart thing. It felt more like a classic melodrama move where like the redemption just kind of comes in the way of like the actual feelings, I guess, that were going on, and also just like a little bit too late. and
Yeah,
fast.
it does feel like
I do think it's like a powerful scene, but like I don't know, it's just
they're
So
almost
it's too
trying
late.
to force like that like Frankenstein always wanted the motherhood love thing,
Yeah.
as a parallel to like Victor.
Yeah.
And it
like at the same time though, like I think like the whole arc makes sense. It's just I don't know. It's just that
it
it's
makes
kind of
sense.
a
It does
fumble.
feel like it's like missing a piece though.
Yeah, more in the melodrama. The movie leaned hard into the melodrama. The real horror was just the emotional tragedy of it all. I did have issues with some of the trophy stuff, like the explosion happening, and like him trying to go back into it. And I guess all this is just like, I guess the whole ending of like he's pushing the thing back was a little bit tropey
Yeah.
to me. But for the most part, it worked for me. And like, it wasn't just like, oh, yeah, let's fill this with like fucking random romances and shit.
I do think that there is like this underlying element of like just like the way that you approach things that are different than you, which is like he pushes away the ship and like allows everyone to go home happy.
Yeah, and exactly. They're all cheering.
And
at
it's
the
like
end of that. You know.
like yeah, like if you aren't an asshole to him, like he kind of just is a human.
I guess I'm literally just putting it together that like that's the whole thing is like, oh, this like Northwest Passage is like we're fucking doing this way too early type thing, which is I guess like he's reversing that. It's like first step, I guess.
Which you're making the point that like
The whole, like-
of himself.
Yeah.
Even?
Like I know like he like the book's ending is a lot different and like darker and like he doesn't redeem himself really.
Well, even like in this one, though, there's like there's nothing for him to like redeem himself of.
Yeah, I guess.
Like he always was kind of just good until
Yeah.
like you tried to like fucking kill him. It's
I
like
guess
then,
it's-
like every
but-
time he was violent was like seemingly justified.
I guess maybe that's where some of the like I didn't ask to be born stuff comes in, where it's like he has to like it's his burden
to
fucking-
justify his
yeah.
existence, yeah,
Exactly.
to the rest of society.
What did you guys think of like the whole like Catholic undertones or the whole thing?
So yeah, that's something we actually didn't get into. There's like that whole recurring thing of I guess the like this angel of death.
Yeah, that was like such an insane fucking just, like,
Yeah.
sequence.
And that was his dream over and over again.
Yeah.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
That it woke him at night. Yeah, I mean,
I think he was just being psychotic.
because they didn't speak about religion in at all, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just had those.
No
those
one gave
scenes.
anybody any blessings.
But there
along the
was
way,
no
you know.
church scenes. There was no mother even talking to him about religion.
No crosses. Or
And
anything.
he was
yeah,
Kind of
nothing like that.
the only thing was
strictly a
confession.
science family.
Yeah.
You know, his
Yeah, the
dad.
confession was the only thing.
I guess
And
it's
like
kind of
him
like
defying it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right, exactly, and that was more for her.
Yeah.
You know, he was just like, well,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah, it looked like he knew what a church was, and he
Right.
knew what that was. So maybe that's the connection. Okay, he was brought up in that.
I mean, it is
But-
interesting that he's praying not to God or Jesus, but to this
angel of death.
angel
Yeah.
that ends up forming in his mind, I guess, as this angel of death.
I guess it's kind of just like a shorthand of like showing. I guess he's kind of the reason why the creature like thinks these stories are real. Like similar thing where it's like, oh, well,
Yeah,
just like this weird like thing you have in your mind is like forming
Mhm.
this weird.
a reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought this felt like a right way to adapt a classic where it's in conversation with the original, and I'm glad it wasn't just a copy, but updated the whole warning about hubris, just to be like more about entrepreneurs, kind of.
I'll agree with you guys in the sense of like this didn't add anything to what I know of Frankenstein or anything, but I'd say that this is like clearly
A very well thought out.
it's well thought out, and it's showing me like what Del Toro's depiction of Frankenstein is
Yeah.
in his mind, you know, and like what he gets out of it.
His depiction's great, but
For me, it clearly shows like what he thinks about the story and like what he gets out of the story, you know.
I just didn't. I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I'm just saying that for me, it didn't add anything to my view of Frankenstein. This version of it again just went kind of flat. I didn't see anything new or creative or something that took you in a different direction. I mean, any remake of a movie or a novel or whatever, depending on when it's done, will always look better, special effects wise and this and that. And like I said, even to me, the design of the monster wasn't spectacular. I'm still coming from, like, what I think is genius is, like, say, The Wizard of Oz. All right? You can remake the movie,
Yeah.
which they've done, and modernize it and whatever, and still keep the basic story. But what was brilliant for me was Wicked. That gave you the entire version of how the evil witch
Became
who
the-
she
the
was.
So just to
Or was
clarify,
it-
which one are you talking about?
What?
The Wicked, the original Wicked,
Well,
or
the
new one?
part one, and now they have Wicked Forever.
So you're talking about like the newest Wicked?
the newest
movie?
Wicked.
Okay.
I mean, and it was a play, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But I mean, just someone to say, not, which to me actually gives you a new take on the original Wizard of Oz, anyway, because now how everyone got there. But like that's to me is being creative. This movie was like, I'm going to make a Frankenstein movie. I'm going to make little changes to it. Like you said, in conversation with the original book, whatever. Not that the Universal monster had anything to do with the original book either, but it was a good movie. And it just didn't do it for me. Didn't carry it to the finish line for me. And I agree with you. I thought Guillermo del Toro's version of Pinocchio was something that was like, wow, yeah, you know. I grew up with that happy little fairy tale Pinocchio, and now we're looking at something totally different.
But even in that story, the original Pinocchio, the animated, which I loved as a child, and I even remember my grandmother, an Italian immigrant to this country, telling me about that story because she knew the original before it was a Disney story, you know. But I remember her sort of telling me like there's bad characters in this, and they sort of touch on them in that original one. But holy crap. He opened that up in his version.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, there's even some parallels to the story of Pinocchio and Frankenstein.
I would have to sort of agree. Yeah.
Just like this
I
thing
don't
brought to
think- yeah,
life.
exactly.
That is very interesting. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird that like he's very interested in that.
I mean, he's talked about it.
I know,
quite
it's
a
just
bit.
like it's just weird when like somebody does something like so similar twice.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say all of his movies kind of have like this.
I
some
feel like
element
fucking
of it.
Frankenstein and Pinocchio
Pinocchio.
are like
Yeah.
very similar though.
I'd even say like his involvement in Death Stranding is like I mean, he's definitely a fan of like Kojima's artistry, but just like the stories of life and death, like he just seems to be so drawn to it that he would even take such a huge role in both of those games is really interesting.
I don't know anything about that story.
You played the first
I
one.
fucking played like 30 minutes, didn't get anything into it. I think my favorites are really torn between like just him as a kid and like the creature in the basement or sewers. Just very interesting to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably agree with you there.
My favorite scene in the movie was definitely when he was trying to sell the idea of reanimating.
That was a close scene.
In the,
Did you notice who one of the, I guess, professors were?
I noticed what it was, but I can't name them now. But
Galactus.
yes, I when I was looking, I was like, I know who this.
Ralph
this,
Ineson.
I really enjoyed that scene, and especially when that thing came to life. It was like a little jump shock moment, but still, I was like, wow, it looked pretty cool, that whole setup there.
One
Funny
other
enough
thing.
also.
Did you catch who Victor's father was?
Yes.
Oh.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones, yes.
Also-
So fucking perfect pick. Just
Yeah,
timing.
right.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
Ralph
Oh, so-
Ineson's also Nosferatu.
Hmm. But then again, through the story, how, and I'm surprised that the wolves didn't, but how all these little creatures took to Frankenstein, the rats and all that stuff. He wasn't afraid of them because he didn't know to be afraid of them or anything. He befriended.
I'd also
All of
kind
them,
of chalk that
kinda
up
gentle.
to what Jack said, like Del Toro's just like fantasy brain is just
Yeah.
like, oh, wolves are like a bad thing.
I
I
guess.
was like looking through the cast. Like, there's like 6 people from Game of Thrones. Like, yeah, even Ralph Ineson is in
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. You know,
I
Byrne,
guess
Corbin.
it's. I guess it's the British acting guild or something. They have all of them in there. They keep showing up and stuff.
I mean, Ralph Ineson's in fucking everything.
I have to say it is, because you did remind me, that is a bit of a tie, because I did like that scene because it kind of gave off a very Da Vinci-esque
Most
type
certainly,
of feel
yeah.
with the way it was animated,
Yeah.
looked, and like operated, even catching the apple and then
Yeah.
holding it was it was grotesque yet beautiful.
Yes.
But I'd have to go with him finding the old man
Yeah.
with the wolves and him just basically just ripping off the fur off
Oh
of
my
one
God,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, horrific, and exciting at the same time.
One thing I like from that professor or just like showing it off scene is like it sets up the whole lymph node thing. Like
Yeah,
later on with
yeah.
like how, did you stop it because of the whole like it was scary or whatever, or was it because the battery was about to run out?
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite scene was the beginning of the movie. Just the first time we see him attacking the ship, and how they kind of set that whole thing up with the soldiers firing at him, when he just kind of just like walking through it, and then everyone escaping to the ship, and him like ready to overturn.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, wow, this movie's gonna be really good. Yeah, and then it wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, it kind of built me up, and
I guess then my least favorite, it's like technically the fucking melodrama of the ending, but like not the scene itself. Cause like I felt it like, oh, this is the whole like accepting thing. Like it's a well done scene. It's just like it didn't like what led up to it. I don't know. It's weird because like I feel like most of the scenes like work on an individual level. It's just like what leads into them.
I'd probably say the destruction of the factory.
Yeah, that's
I'd
definitely
have
where
to-
you can
I'd
poke
have
the
to
most.
go I'd have to go
Yeah.
through that.
Just
too.
even like what I said with like the whole trope of like him big hero sexing it.
my least favorite scene was that scene where his partner wasn't going to give him the. It's like, you do what I want, or I'm going to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that was kind of silly.
you know.
That was just silly and,
Like, to me, Victor
and
should have said,
badly choreographed, I thought, as well.
yeah, it just.
Wait, what? Which
The scene where he takes the piece, that last piece that he has to screw in to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just I don't know, it's just like weird slapstick kind of.
Yeah.
I did like how it started with just him showing himself off, but
But
Yeah.
then, it just fell apart for me. Like, I would have said personally, I would
just
have
like
been
his
like,
fucking skull
I
fell
would have been
apart.
like, yeah, no problem. Just lay on the fucking table and knock him out or whatever,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
do what you got to do.
I guess
But,
that is. I feel like there's a reason he didn't do that. He just fucking didn't. He's not that type of guy. I guess he's more aggressive. I guess.
Yeah, think about it. Why didn't he just do that? He really wanted to be part of the body. Okay, cool. Knock him out. Oh, you got beautiful dentures.
I just don't think he has like
Use
that
one of his
subtlety.
limbs.
I still thought it was for all that he still had to climb all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
At the last minute and do that. You know, why wasn't it up there all the time?
Which
Well, wasn't it just like he can't fucking have lightning going into that thing all the time?
true, but
Divert it elsewhere until you need it then.
like,
Like the regular Frankenstein.
I think
just
it's.
pull the
I mean,
lever.
it's just like
I mean, it was mechanized. The entire
Yeah.
thing was mechanized coming
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
and
It's all steam.
Why didn't he just have mechanized going up?
Yeah.
why would he bring it up himself? What happens if he gets electrocuted while he's
And
up
it wasn't
there?
an easy climb. It wasn't like there was a ladder there. It looked like he had to actually go up.
Yeah, that's how I
And-
thought he was going to lose the leg at first. I thought he was going to fall.
one other thing I really like is just like the whole brotherly relationship between him and William. Just I just like when brotherly fucking relationships are done well.
And they hadn't seen each other in
that was
many
good.
years. They
Yeah,
didn't even
that
know
really
what they were doing.
And
You know?
for some reason, when he did lose that leg, that scene made me giggle because of he just did the whole factory. He turns around and he feels regret.
Mm-hmm.
But the second he starts running and the whole thing just explodes.
I wasn't even like 100% sure of like what did it.
It's
Did he like
piece of
bash
the
it
ru-
off
piece
of
the-
something?
Yeah, he
piece of
hit
the rubble.
Okay.
the stone.
There was
Yeah.
there was like a stone pillar there, and he
Yeah.
got blown back and smashed his leg on
Yeah.
that.
Which
I
him
think
just
I
screaming.
just chorted a few times. I don't know, just like little things, but like that definitely because of just Big Hero 6. I mean, it's the same fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I'll put my rating at a 7.
Yeah, I'm a 7 to 7.5.
I'm a solid, I don't know, 6.5, 7. Because there was things.
Not very
6.
solid of you.
6, 7, 6, 7. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm like in there. But yeah, I mean, there was things that I really loved about this movie, and a lot of them, to me, revolved around the acting
Yeah.
more than some story plots. Because there was things that they definitely took liberties on that I didn't like, and one of those things that I really didn't like was that little, the last 5 seconds of the movie. I forgive you. Okay, everything's great. Let's walk on. I just killed 16 people, and God knows how many more.
Wow.
How many deaths was Dr. Frankenstein responsible for? So I just,
putting it at a 5.
Yeah.
Not even like 4.5.
I'm giving it a 5.5. If 5 is okay, this was just a little bit better than okay. Not much. That's just the way it is. For me, anyway. I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy it. For me, this wasn't the one.
I mean, I'd say watch it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
popular on
I mean,
that.
we
A lot of
talked. We
people
just
have
talked
watched
about
it.
it for
Yeah.
fucking like an hour, 20 minutes. So I
Yeah.
think we liked it enough.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
to
there
talk
was
about it.
a lot
Yeah.
to talk about.
Because it's in March. But like, do we want to watch The Bride when it comes out? And
Yeah, sure.
Could watch it.
sure, it's interesting.
Yeah,
Fan
might
of
as
that.
well.
So The Bride seems like it's a modernized version
Yeah,
of Frankenstein's story. It's almost like Bonnie and Clyde become Frankenstein.
definitely.
That's
more
what I
so,
got out of it.
Like, it's the relationship between, I guess, the DC ones, kind of maybe.
It seems like it's going to be closer to like that DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be
vibe
weird.
wise.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully not.
Christian
I
Bale,
Hope not.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
You look at the cast, it's like, oh, it's Christian Bale, and then they got Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like, oh my God, they got everybody. And then it's like, oh, Maggie Gyllenhaal's directing it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
She wrote and directed it, I
Did
think.
she really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like a Bonnie and Clyde Frankenstein movie to me.
Yeah.
So
I would watch this Frankenstein, though. Where would you chalk this up amongst Del Toro movies?
Chronos, The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth, Mimic, Blade 2, Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak,
Yeah,
Shape
good
of Water, Nightmare Alley. I'd say it's Pinocchio is probably my favorite. I didn't really connect with Pan's Labyrinth. I really got to rewatch that.
I actually want to check out that Circus Alley.
Yeah, I really
Nightmare
like.
Alley?
Yeah, Nightmare Alley was really good.
Really good. You'd enjoy it.
Shape of Water and then Frankenstein.
yeah,
Probably.
Shape of Water was
Shape of Water was
fantastic.
We'll have to do Blade 2 at some
Yeah.
point.
No.
Maybe after next episode when we do Blade.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually realizing where he got the design for the
But he
shape of
did
the water
Hellboy?
creature. Yeah.
He did
Hellboy
Hellboy
2.
1 and 2.
Why didn't I know that?
Pacific Rim.
I actually like both 1 and 2.
Wow.
All right. That was our discussion on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Next episode, we are finally making Jack watch Blade
Yay!
with Wesley Snipes.
You already watched it 2 weeks ago.
I know I'll probably have to power it again, but go through it again and watch parts of it.
Frankenstein's always trying to
but I'm just gonna
walk
say
on
it's
ice.
no masterpiece.
True. Frankenstein's always trying to swim up ice. All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.